All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Sorry for the delay of game here, the late start, 9 minutes after. I've been working on some late-breaking news. I've been trying to corroborate some information that I've received all day today. So we're going to be talking about some interesting information, both in Muncie, some really big news out of Muncie, and some really big news out of Henry County. So we've got some big stories going on in both locations, and we got a lot of commentary to get to from both areas. If you would, please do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you haven't hit the subscribe already. Hit that bell. And more than anything, we ask you to share the show with everyone you know. But please, please, please don't forget to communicate with us. We are a very interactive show, and we like to hear your thoughts. We like to hear your thoughts. And so if you're watching live, please communicate with us in the live chat area. And if you're watching on repeat at your convenience, well, please comment in the comment section. Both of those areas are important. I go through about once a day and check everything that's going on in the comment section of all the videos. So I like to check that out. All right, folks. So we need to get into it. Man, I don't understand. I don't know. If you're having trouble, all I got to tell, if you have trouble with YouTube, I don't know. YouTube is YouTube. They run their crap crazy. If you ever have trouble, unsubscribe and resubscribe. That's what I've always been told fixes 99% of all problems. When you're watching, if you're having player sound, if it's buffering, if it's sound issues, if you get video and no sound, or sound and no video, if you're having a hard time commenting, What you need to do is first leave the feed and come back. And then if that doesn't work, try to unsubscribe, leave, resubscribe, and then come back. That's probably what you could do. And then the worst case scenario is what K Mama says. You can always try and delete the app and then bring it back. Hello, Brandon Clower. Brandon Clower's back. He is among the living and in the comment sections and doing well. Troy Ingram, welcome. Philip, welcome. Danny, welcome. Let's see who else here. We've got Alva we've talked to. Jeff. Prayers going out to the Walls family. I think Mrs. Walls is not feeling too well. Hope she gets better. Diane Stevens, thank you for popping in. Of course, my grandparents are here, like always. Eric Lewis, thank you. Eric Lewis, the only Lewis that we like. Yoko Duo is here, of course. Was saying that Yoko Duo missed some Brandon. Kelly Bone is here. Charlize signing in from bed. And I would like to be signing in from bed. Hey, in the next upcoming couple weeks, I am going to be doing a studio remodel. We're going to start doing some different stuff in here. I know that you people have said over and over how much you love the raft in case there's an emergency and we have to raft out of here. I know that... people like that. Audie Barber has talked about this. I'm going to point to it here. Let me get my little pointer. Here's my pointer. Audie Barber has, so you see back here, we've got some maps, map 1, map 2, a picture frame. This is like a magic eye thing. It's kind of like a hoarder's place. Then we got a red tote, a red little bin right here. Audie Barber has been very interested in what this thing is back here. This, well, I can't know where to go. It's this thing right here. This kind of black thing that looks like phallic right here. He's wondered what that is, and I told him that you've got to pay at least $10 or more to find out what that is. So, oh yeah, Fern Shelby is doing well. I've never noticed the raft before. So I want to let you guys know this brown tarp that's back here, it's covering boxes. You see this box up here? See that brown box? Okay. See that brown box up there? That box. All right. Oh, yeah, Darla. That box is contained records. Records and records and records, okay? I'm going to show you here. I'll give you kind of an example of what we're looking at. Here is records from the last about 2 or 3 months. Maybe the last month and a half, actually. Send this in here and put it in the group. Hey, this is a one purpose. Everything in here is related to politics. It's all related to politics. The raft is for me to float down the river of bullshit that they mostly have me in. And that little black phallic thing, you guys tell me what you think it is. Tell me what you think that thing is back there, right here. Tell me what you think that is. I'm glad Audie's asleep. Tell me what you think that is. No, Darla, it's nowhere. The League of Women Voters are still telling me that they're going to post it immediately. As soon as it goes up, I will have it. I don't know what's going on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you what it is. You guys will kick over. Ta-da! It's a bong. It is a headset that I can put on like this and hear you from a long way away. A long way away. So it is a hearing device. Who would have ever thought? So yeah, no, that's what that is. But everything in here, yeah, there you go. There you go, Troy. Everything in here is something important. But I'm going to show you right here what I've got working on the desk here, and then you'll understand what are you mouthing down there? Yeah, right there. Look what she's got here. So this is this stack of paperwork here that did not look like this. It did not look this way just a few short hours ago. It was spread everywhere. But that paperwork there is basically the last several weeks, maybe the last month and a half. So what all of this crap is under this brown material are boxes of records upon records, or not fun records. It's all like corruption and crap from Muncie and Winchester and Newcastle and Anderson and on and on and on. I need to go through and get rid of some of it, but I'm always afraid to throw it away, because the very moment I throw it away, someone will be like, do you remember that time that you worked that situation with such and such in 2016? And I'll be like, yes, I know right where it is. The old phone? Hell yeah, old phone right here. I can pick that up. And I can call my call Muncie Tent and Awning. 282-3831. Ooh, right like that. Muncie Tent and Awning. 282-3831. Can you believe it? Can't believe I just rattled that off like that. That was nuts. Yeah, that old phone works. You just gotta plug it right in and we're ready to rock and roll. So no, I'm going to do some cleaning out of here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin us around. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set up like the Bat Cave. I'm a Superman fan, so it needs to be the Ice Palace, actually. But we're going to get a little bit better ambiance in here. The thing is, I never had to worry about it. For the whole first 4.5 years of my deal, most of my stuff that I did that I really cared about was audio. So I didn't care. It didn't matter what my room looked like. Well, then people got me into the YouTube, and now I guess I need to set up a cool looking little thing. So I'm in the process right now of looking through various different types of podcast studios, and we're going to try to set it up here. And what I really need is an HGTV studio makeover. So if any of you want to come crash my house and give me a couple $1 million to help, revamp what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Were you swatting a bee? So, everybody says the green screen. Here's the thing: the green screen never works the way that it wants to work. And I'll be honest. I don't know that the hold on here a second. Let me see. No shit. No. Kate, that's hilarious. No, that's funny. No, I'm saying HGTV. HGTV can come and do it. You know, they do those, what are those, remodel housings where they come in and they do like flip your house, or someone comes and tells me, hey, we're going to take you out. I do need a haircut. I'm going to take you out for a haircut today. And when we get back, they've redone the studio in like 3 hours flat, no issues. That's what I'm looking for. I don't like the green screen. The green screen just purchased the old YMCA building and turned it into a mega studio. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can give them $1. Hey, Troy, can I buy the YMCA from you guys? Troy's like, I don't care. I'm not going to be here in a couple months. Have it. The place is yours. So, no, I don't like the green screen. First and foremost, we don't really need green screen because we can already pop things up around the screen like we need, so I don't need to ever put anything on there. And the whole green screen thing, it doesn't really work with the boom of the mic because it's such a black color that even though it's not green, it disappears, so it looks weird. And so instead of actually doing like a green screen, I'm going to actually do like a set. We're going to make up some kind of like set. I've decided I'm tired of what this looks like, and we're going to be doing it. All right, enough of that. I don't even know why I rambled on about that for so long, but Dan would give it away and then buy it back. Yeah, right. Maybe I could buy it for $1, and then he could give me $500,000 to renovate it. You know, that wouldn't be too bad. All right, hey, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. We are going to be talking about the city of Muncie, of course. We're going to be talking about Henry County. The last couple nights, I've started with Muncie, and I have went from Muncie into Henry County. Tonight, we're going to flip it because I've got a lot of Muncie stuff to talk about. So we're going to instead talk about the Henry County stuff, and we're going to get it out of the way quick, and then we'll get into the Muncie stuff. So for all of you Muncie people, we'll be right back. I promise. Don't go anywhere. You're going to want to hear this. We're going to be talking about some stuff that's really, really, really infuriating. We're also going to be talking about some stuff that's really infuriating from Henry County. So first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, the commissioners meeting that was scheduled for September, the commissioners meeting that was scheduled for the 27th, so a week from yesterday, is canceled. And I forgot them talking about this. They have a week-long training that they're going to. And I got to be honest, I love the Henry County Commissioners. They went from being some of my least favorite elected officials to being some of my most favorite elected officials. These people work every day. They're in the building. You can normally get 1 or 2 of them around the building, around the county government, like literally 4 or 5 days a week. They go to training all the time, and they do a bunch of different stuff. I'm really, really amazing. Troy. He could have financed your restaurant. Hey, we could still ask him. You know, it doesn't hurt. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We will see if he will find. I'll ask him when he interviews with me. Wall Street isn't. I wouldn't really say it's. Part of it is Whiteley. Second and Wolf. There was a lot of. I have a really interesting story about a situation at Second Wolf. We were going in to serve a search warrant, a Second Wolf, a drug warrant, and we were all going in to serve the warrant, and lightning struck a tree, and it was like so close to us that like you could feel it before it struck. Like the hair on your arm stood up, and it felt really weird, and it went zzz, and it sounded like an explosion, and it scared the hell out of. I've never seen bigger, burlier cops. Jeff Pease about fell over, and this lady on the porch said, "Y'all about got struck by lightning. That would have been sad and funny." Good Lord. They're around Elgin Apartments chasing a shooter. Tonight, right now? That's no good. Well, Elgin Apartments is definitely up in the Whiteley area. Interviewing with you is a much larger ask than financing my restaurant. That's probably true. All right. So Henry County, the commissioners meeting in Henry County next week is canceled. After that, the next meeting after that is the 28th. That's the county council meeting. And I don't know if that's the meeting that's going to be joint. That might be the joint meeting. The one on the Thursday, the 28th at 4 p.m. If it's not that one, then it would be, let me tell you when it would be. Third and fourth. 1, 2. So, I guess it was second. I guess it would be the 11th. So the next commissioners meeting in Henry County will be October the 11th. And I think it's the early morning one. I think it's like 10 or 11 a.m. So as we get closer to that, I will let you guys know. So that's the first thing I wanted to tell everybody, because I know we've been planning on going and everybody's been talking about that. Next. I know. I'd be able to hear a lot of what people are saying, and then Sproles would like kick the podium like he does, and it would blow my eardrums out. All right, next. We got to talk about this, folks. I've said for a minute that Sproles has like a free line straight to the paper. Okay, I don't know what's going on. He gets to write things in the paper like letters to the editor. I guess we all do. I don't really know what the deal is with that, but I think that he probably gets a little more time, a little bit more longer articles, and probably more of an opportunity to do that than the rest of us. I think that's probably unfair. It is what it is. I don't know that we could stop that, because if you look at Travis Week, I have heard people say that he is not a fan of Sproles. If that's the truth, then he's doing a dang good job of faking it, because he seems like he's on that pocket and holding tight. I just don't understand. So the sheriff wrote a letter to the editor here back on, I guess the 16th, so a couple days ago. And the letter that he wrote is called Their Opinions. Okay, it's Their Opinions. It's called Their Opinions is the section, the letter to the editor. The letter that he wrote is called Dangerous Car Alert. Dangerous Car Alert. All right. Here is what he wrote. These cars pictured are real sheriff's cars. Real old, real dangerous, and really what some officers drive when responding to your emergency needs. Both are 2013 models, and both have well over 250,000 miles on them. One is on its 5th engine. Why would we allow our officers to drive emergency vehicles that are in this condition? Wouldn't we be knowingly putting our officers' lives at risk when we all know that emergency conditions sometimes press our vehicles to the very limits of their capabilities? That's a great question. I've been asking this of our commissioners and council members since January 1. I have made it crystal clear to all of them that there is an urgent need of newer vehicles for our officers with all of the new life-saving airbag and safety features in the newer police cars, let alone the enormous vehicle maintenance costs that our taxpayers drain into putting new engines, transmission, suspension systems in. The list could go on and on. Commissioner Joe Wiley, his buddy, all right, he understands the safety issues, and he's spoken out about them publicly, as he used to service these vehicles when he was the head of the county highway department. The county has straight out purchased 4 vehicles a year for the sheriff's office for many years. Okay, well, that's 4 new officer vehicles a year. All right, 4. Keep that in mind. We have about 30 vehicles on the road at any given time. So if they've got 30 vehicles on the year at any given time, and they buy 4 this year, and they buy 4 next year, well, that's 8. If they buy 4 the next year, okay, and 4 the next year, that's 16. In 4 years, you've replaced more than half. All right. So, and I'm just going. I get it. Maybe 4 is not enough. I understand that. I'm just saying they are being able to rotate those out. They are getting cars. He's acting like there are never any cars. Yeah, that's the other thing. Keep in mind, he's got 30 officers on the road at any given time, but yet there's only 5 deputies that's on duty. That's 1041. What are we talking about? How many vehicles does he have parked at any given time? Oh, Charlize, that's a good question. Used to, it was about, man, I would say it was, about every 4 years they would need to, maybe less than that. Look, he says that they put oh, I just lost it. He says that they put 35,000 miles on a car a year. I think that's probably a little high for Henry County. I think that's a little high for Henry County. But if you're thinking that a police car can rotate out every 3 to 4 years, but keep in mind, cars are different today than they were 10 years ago. It's nothing to have a car at 100,000 miles anymore. Where used to, that was crazy. Most vehicles are rotated out after about 100,000 miles. Absolutely. he got off his ass and looked for grants. That's the biggest issue right there. And when they brought that to him and they said, hey, have you considered looking for grants? He almost seemed like that was a slap in the face. Like, that's beneath him. I don't need to spend my time doing that. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, well, that's something we'll consider. All right, let's go on and let's listen to this, okay? He goes on and he says, that's okay. The county has straight out purchased 4 vehicles a year for the sheriff's office for many years. We have about 30 vehicles on the road at all times, which I don't believe that, okay? That's approximately 7.5 years in a vehicle, and we average approximately 35,000 miles a year. The commissioners and the council members are very clear that 4 vehicles per year is not keeping up. They're saying that, or you're saying that? Who's saying that? Who's saying that? Maybe everybody's saying that. Four vehicles a year simply not keeping up. It currently costs approximately $60,000 per new vehicle. Then with all of the upfitting, the emergency lights, the equipment, and etc., that would mean we would continue to straight out purchase 4 vehicles this year. It would cost about $240,000. I have made it very clear that we need 7 cars a year to maintain the newer fleet. Well, no, you didn't. You said you wanted 15 cars. They worked it out. They worked it out and said that they could get you 7 cars, but you had a problem with it. You threw a fit. Doesn't everybody remember that? Driving up and down the interstate looking for stranded purple buses adds up to mileage. Yeah, it does. Imagine how many miles he could save if he would stop patrolling while off duty. If he alone would park the crap and stop doing that, you know what I mean? That's just crazy. Does he count cars parked in deputies' driveways as being on the clock? I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's a good question. For a year that long, the oldest car would be 2018. Yeah, listen, this newspaper article he's done here and what he attempted to do with Wish TV is definitely smoke and mirrors. No questions. That's Sproles' ball game. Putting on the poor me. He's like the spoiled brat, okay? Just absolutely ridiculous. All right. So we go on here. He says, I have made it very clear that we need 7 cars a year to maintain a newer fleet, and we need about 12 new ones up front to get a jump on the 7 per year average. Well, wait a minute. Is it 7 years, or is it seven cars a year? You need 7 cars this year, or is it now 12 cars? You see, in the matter of a sentence, he's added 3 cars to the lineup. That's ridiculous. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, he said he wanted 12. Yeah, added 5. I was thinking the 8, and that still would have been 4. Anywho, that's that Delta math there for you. The bottom line is he said he wanted 15. I don't know where he's getting this 12 at now. Now he's saying 12. Well, he backed it down because Bobby, I think, said the thing that made the most sense. Commissioner Plummer, when he said, we need 15 cars, and she said, you're saying you want 15 cars. I don't know that you need 15 cars. Well, now he's backed it down to 12 until we read on. He might move it up here in the further on down. A newer fleet would save an enormous amount of money on our yearly vehicle maintenance cost. The Newcastle mayor said they switched to a newer fleet years ago, and they save enough money to purchase a new car and a half per year in the maintenance savings alone. With all of this having been made perfectly clear to the county commissioners and the council has proposed a new vehicle budget this year of $64,000. You read that right, folks. That's $64,000. That would straight out buy us one car and leave us $4,000 in our vehicle account. Now, wait a minute. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Nobody has told him they're going to give him one car. Everybody has said he could have 7 cars. I don't understand why he's trying. I mean, this is such bullcrap. This is coming from your elected sheriff. All right. Not to fear, the county has over $5 million sitting in the American Rescue Plan Act fund. This money from the federal government that was issued to local government entities to make up for funding shortfalls that were created by the COVID pandemic. I asked Commissioner Bobby Plummer if those funds could be used to purchase emergency vehicles. She advised me that I had to come to the ARP committee meeting and ask for whatever we were needing. I made it very clear that I would be at the next ARPA meeting. I showed up in the courthouse on the date that I had entered into my calendar for the APR meeting. I was shocked that no one was in the courthouse, so I stepped into the commissioner's office to ask if I had put the wrong date in. Listen to this. He's telling us the same story that he already told last meeting to the commissioners, the meeting before that to the council. He's like, it's like the kid says, if I keep saying it enough, you will eventually give in. If I say this enough, they will eventually give me what I want. Yeah, right. I don't understand. He's like, I don't care about the EMS. I don't care. I don't care about the county highway department. I need my 15 cars and my mirrors. I asked him if I put the wrong date in. Commissioner Bobby Plummer and Steve Dellinger were in the office. They told me the ARPA meeting was actually the next day. I was very relieved, and I advised them that I would be at the meeting to make a request. I even asked if I needed to be on any special list in order to make my request, and they advised me I just needed to show up and ask. Myself and several other members of the sheriff's office showed up because we show up in force to the meeting the next day, and we sat in the seating area of the old courthouse. There were no other people in all of the seating area. The only other people that were in the courtroom were what appeared to be approximately 10 ARPA committee members, mostly made up of county commissioners and county council members. They deliberated for over 50 minutes, and then they made a motion to use the remaining ARPA funds for county building maintenance and to disband the ARPA committee. The motion carried. Commissioner Joe Wiley voted nay to using all the money for the buildings, but voted in favor of disbanding. Oh, so he didn't vote to put the money in the building maintenance, but he did vote to disband. I wonder if he got smacked back for that. I was completely in shock as the committee appeared to already adjourn the meeting. I went to the podium and I very clearly aired my disdain for not even being acknowledged when the two commissioners knew I was there to make a request. I was totally in shock at them letting the motion be passed to use all of the remaining ARPA funds for the county building maintenance while knowing we are in dire need of more cars and knowing that I was there to make a request. I asked approximately how much money they had just allotted to dump into building maintenance. And at that point, I was told somewhere around $6 million. After some discussion, it appeared that possibly no other members knew about the seemingly intentional stonewalling that had just occurred, and they asked me to present my needs. They said they could rescind the original motion and revise it. Now listen, I'm going to be honest. I agree with him a little bit. I don't know that they just needed to throw all of that money into the building maintenance. I get it. It would make sense to toss a little bit of money his way. But man, this guy is seriously on the somebody needs to call a whambulance. Because this dude is on, he's having a pout down.
That is Brandon's joke.
I know.
Did you get permission to use that?
Yeah, we tag teamed.
Oh, okay.
After some discussion, it appeared as though no one knew that, and they said that they could make a motion to rescind it. I don't understand. I then discussed my deep concern that our old fleet of vehicles is a life safety hazard. I expressed that we need APRA funds to purchase and upfit 6 new vehicles. The motion was made and passed that the ARP committee recommend that the county purchase 6 new vehicles for the sheriff's office out of the funds. All right. Look, now we're getting somewhere. 6 cars. But like Yoko said, keep in mind, the sheriff's department already got $500,000. So what did that go to? Where what was that? Did they buy mirrors with that? What did they buy with that $500,000? Do we know? I don't know if we know. I would be interested to know what was bought with the $500,000. It's ridiculous. Okay, we move on. Yes, the buildings are in very bad need, and it is in disrepair. Major upgrades are needed. I absolutely agree with you. This leads up to Wednesday's commissioners meeting, which was to vote on the recommendations of the APRA money. Video of the meeting can be viewed here. I can't believe this man would be playing this meeting anywhere. I cannot believe that this man would want this meeting played. I would think he would be begging people to delete it. It did not show him in a good light. Does that include salary for what? Does it include salary for what, Diane? I would say it doesn't. No, I know it doesn't. Yeah, their salary would be in the budget. That would just be for various things that they know. Okay, moving on. Let's get back here to his letter. It just goes and goes and goes. I cannot believe they gave him this much space. Honestly, I cannot believe they gave him this much space. It's very evident that 2 of the commissioners did not want to grant us this request, knowing full well the absolute dire need the sheriff's office has in regard to the condition of our vehicles and the amount of vehicles. As I said, we operate approximately 30 vehicles on a daily basis. Now that, I believe, They operate 30 vehicles on a daily basis. There, he told the truth. They probably operate 30 vehicles a day in a 24-hour period. They've got, five cars on a shift, I don't know. To me, 30 seems a lot for Henry County. That's the other thing, Jeff, is he's talking about wanting to create he's needing a new pod opened in the jail. That jail is brand new. We should not be at overcrowding. Maybe if they would stop arresting nonsense in arrest and release charges, they wouldn't be at that over capacity already. He's running around telling people they have to arrest for driving while suspended prior. Driving while suspended prior, man, I'm telling you what, if you showed up with somebody at the Delaware County Jail for driving while suspended prior, you would never live that down. They wouldn't even, they would be like, we're not taking him. Get that person out of here. We're not doing that. You would never live that down. So stupid. All right, moving on. Let's see here. At the 58-minute mark of the video, you will be able to watch the decision-making process as it unfolds. Other organizations that were not even present at the ARP money to request vehicles were freely granted vehicles by Commissioner Plummer, along with wiggle room just in case they needed more. I'm happy for those departments, as they needed vehicles as well. But I'm absolutely shocked at how the Sheriff's Department was cut down in our request for 6 vehicles out of the nearly $6 million of federal money. I understand we need building maintenance, but I also understand building maintenance is not a life-saving issue, as is our officers driving these extremely old, rickety vehicles under extreme emergency circumstances. Man, he needs to be really careful. He needs to take the advice of the attorney that was on the council, the councilman that's an attorney that kept telling him that he needed to be careful saying stuff. I'm telling you, the moment something happens that's not a crazy ordeal, but someone gets a little hurt and they're like, oh, the sheriff's cars, the fleet's not up to snuff. Man, I don't know how the elected officials in the city and the county go to work knowing that he's out there just fumbling through the day. It's absolutely insane. All right, so he just goes on and just goes on and on and on and on. The short funding of vehicles and salaries is a direct. Now we're talking about salaries. How did he throw the salaries in here? The short funding of the vehicles and the salaries, and the fact that we don't have our mirrors to make ourselves look pretty, is an absolute direct life-saving liability. Our officers are having to drive vehicles that are not roadworthy. We're having to look into mirrors that are not full body. We're having to only get paid $70,000 a year for being the chief deputy, and not $120,000. How woe is us. We cannot continue to knowingly put our officers in these no-win situations. John Sproles, Henry County Sheriff, took office January 1st, 2023. And he's been a disaster ever since. Just absolutely crazy. And then he actually was interviewed by one of the reporters from the newspaper. And he sat down with her and he just said, you know, we've got vehicles that have well over 200,000 miles on them. Several on-duty vehicles exceed 160,000 miles. We're just bearing money into vehicle maintenance, Sproles said. It's phenomenal. Oh, man, if I had a dollar for every time he said phenomenal, ugly, crystal clear, or something like that, I would be able to buy him 15 cars. Yeah, Charlize, the mirrors, you missed that maybe 3 months ago. He was in the commissioner's office bitching about the fact that they needed new mirrors in their gym, in their workout gym, to make sure that they were getting the full workout. I want something and they won't give it to me. That's exactly right. If you get a chance, ladies and gentlemen, you need to read the whole that full article. And it's harder than crap to find because the Courier Times locks stuff down under the paywall like it's Fort Knox. It's really crazy. But they go on and he just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Plummer asked if anyone from the sheriff's office had looked into state-funded police grants to assist with the vehicle purchases. I can't say that we are actively checking on those, Sproles said, adding that he would work on this matter. Well, I want to know, Sheriff, what are you doing to work on that matter? What are they doing? Reading down here. Sproles called Plummer's move a power move, result of a personality conflict. Plummer denied the allegations. We're not going to get into the back and forth, John, Plummer said. I want to make a statement for the public to hear, Sproles said. I'm going to stop you if you're just going to put words in my mouth. Some discussion then ensued about the previous ARP meeting in which Sproles requested vehicle funding. Dellinger said, noting the previous ARP committee meeting was set in nothing at the previous ARP committee meeting was set in stone. So it sounds like he's being reasonable there. Sproles argued that Henry County EMS and Henry County EMA representatives were not even at the meeting. Maybe they have a better working relationship with these commissioners, and so they know you don't have a working relationship with these people, John. That's what I don't understand. He acts like he should have a good working relationship with these people, but how would he? He's treated them like piñatas. He's bullied them. He's thrashed them literally for 9 months. Let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. In the end, they did allocate $200,000. Plummer said, if we don't vote for 15 cars, are you going to say that we're putting the officers at risk? Plummer asked, what's the number that you're not going to tell me that I'm crapping all over the officers? Your officers know exactly how I appreciate them and how I feel about them. Don't try to make this about them. Don't try to make this as if I don't give a crap about the sheriff's department. And that is a quote from Bobby Plummer, and it was a beautiful quote. And I'm glad that she put him in his place. That's great. So this is just another, I mean, I can't believe how much time and effort these news agencies are devoting to this. They need to tell him one time, like a child, and be done. All right. Moving away from the cars, I got to tell you before we move into Muncie, we're getting ready to move into Muncie, but I have to tell you one big breaking news story. I've tried every way I could to confirm this. So I'm going to put this out right now as saying this is very likely true. If there is any bit of this that is not true, I will immediately clear the air as soon as possible. As soon as I find out it's not true, I will clear the air. But from what I'm seeing now, I think that it probably is. I got an email a little earlier today, and this is why I was actually late coming on. I was doing everything I could to try and verify this. I got an email earlier today that told me that Marquette Neal, if you don't remember who that is, that's the inmate that was in the custody of the Henry County Sheriff's Department on July 6th when he got into a little bit of an altercation, a battle of wills, if you will. I guess it wasn't an altercation. It was just a battle of wills. And it is what it is, but he was the inmate that ended up being shot with the beanbag rounds. Well, he was awaiting, he was in there on a probation hold of some sort, or a parole revocation type of a hearing, and he had filed for post-conviction relief. And I am hearing that as of today, Marquette Neal won the post-conviction relief, and an order was made to release him from custody. That's the breaking news from Henry County that I have been working to verify. From all that I am seeing, I believe this is what I am hearing. He had a pending sentence to serve for drug possession. However, from what I'm hearing, he got the post-conviction relief. So if that is true, and we will verify this 1,000% tomorrow with the DOC, what this will essentially mean is the sheriff shot an innocent man. So that's the big news out of Henry County, and I will keep you all up to speed if I'm hearing anything. If I find out that that is not correct, or some kind of words got crossed and something is not true, we will clear that record. But I want to say, for the time being, it's looking as though Marquette was given the all clear signal and was released. So I will keep you guys up to date on that. All right. Now we're going to be sliding into the city of Muncie, and shoo-wee, ladies and gentlemen, that's a doozy. Another doozy, just about the same as Henry County. I don't know for the love of God what went on in Muncie today. I cannot determine what Dan Ridenour is doing. I don't understand why the mayor feels like he has to do everything off the top of his head, last minute, willy-nilly. I will never understand. Today was the Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting, and I wanted to attend, but I had another engagement, so I was not able to attend. However, I did watch it in real time, and I see somebody just ask the question about this. Somebody ask here, and I want to make sure. Let's see. Yeah, Charlize said, Troy, did the council have a clue about this Dan MRC move on the Sportsplex deal before today? I don't know if Troy Ingram has answered that yet or not, but I can tell you this. From the people that I spoke to, it was kind of not, it was not known about. So this is, another one of those Dan Ridenour deals. All right. So first and foremost, I do want to say a congratulations where congratulations, I guess would be due. Okay. I'm going to try to find our press here first. That pulled up. Oh, let me also get the Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting lined up here. That's good. Find out where that is. Okay. What is that? What's store called? What's the deal with store called? Well, we'll just go ahead and play it like this and let you hear it this way, and that way I can look it up while we're doing that. Here we go.
I vote yes. Thank you. All right. We have the minutes from the previous meeting.
The largest claim that on the claims that I wanted to point out was just the Muncie Innovation Connector for $250,000, and that's a certified tech park funds. So, and with that, I will open it up to any questions.
And just as a reminder, the innovation So the funds, the tech funds are passed through.
Yes.
So yes, so it's not necessarily coming out of our funds.
It's a lot of utilities and very minimal claims this month.
Move that we approve the claims as submitted.
Second.
A motion and a second. Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Corbella,
Yes.
Commissioner Tomlin,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagley.
Yes.
I vote yes. All right.
Thank you.
Right. Appreciate it. Property transfers and acquisitions. Ms. Cheeseman from Community Development.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
About a year ago, maybe, you all accepted a property at 3005 West 8th Street, transferred to Redevelopment Commission. It was owned by City of Muncie Community Development Department, which is already kind of weird because I don't know how one department can own property, but we acquired it in probably like 2002 or 3 through the tax sale process as a potential site for some of the like Millennium Place properties or other potential development.
All right.
It had,
I want to tell you, if you live in the city of Muncie and you're interested in what goes on in Muncie, you're going to want to listen to this. This is up. I've posted it on my Facebook page and it's posted on the city's page. And this is something to listen to, but I'm going to go back through. I'm going to go past this and get to where the mayor's talking because that's what I'm specifically interested in.
Shireen was the motion
yep.
and Isaac was the second. Thank you.
All right.
thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cheeseman. All right. The mayor.
I'm not sure what. Oh, there he is.
Here he goes.
You're up.
Just in time.
Got one piece.
I thought we were going to lose pace here. I thought
Yeah,
that-
you would have.
It doesn't put us off our game.
Dan Ridenour, Mayor of Muncie, thank you for accommodating there. So we'll start with the financial. Just the update that I provide you. I have to get to that page. There was not a lot of activity last month. In fact, I don't think we didn't have any expenses toward any of the parks. So a lot of those numbers stayed the same. Some went up a smidge due to interest earned, and others went down based on some of those expenses that we paid. But you can see the dollars on there. There's a section under there for the purchase, which is coming up later. So we can discuss that later. But that's an amount for that particular purchase. We've got the projected revenue above the debt payment listed on there. And then, of course, the park is not finished at Store Estates. Store Woods Park is not in place yet. They have done the cement, they've done the asphalt for the pickleball court,
Pickleball.
but they haven't put the equipment in. So we haven't been asked for this additional funds yet, but I have that as subtracted, and that shows what we anticipate will be near the end of the year. I don't know if anybody has any questions, but there were no adjustments in the parks. There were, so we still have $326,299.41 for various parks. It's for the parks that we bid till we have the permits, goes toward that park. And at 12/31/23, they lose that opportunity. So they may have to invest somewhere else. But the timing of Ready 2.0 got changed, kind of threw us a slight curveball. So those are not even going to be submitted until next year. And because of the opportunity zone and this particular developer needing the tax advantages of an opportunity zone, and at 12/31/23, they lose that opportunity. So they may have to invest somewhere else. And we'll look at it till next year. Now, if interest rates would happen to drop, that's part of their challenge. Interest rates are still very high. and it just financially is not something they want to take on without us putting in, and what they're wanting to put in. Jeff and I, we've talked with them, we've met with it. It's more than we want to put in. So we're happy to help with infrastructure, but we also want to make sure it's good for the city. So that's still being worked on. I don't have anything to bring to you on that at this particular point. Now, we are going to go ahead and move forward with the public space that'll be out in the front. There's a huge sewer pipe underneath. That needs some maintenance. The sanitary district is going to go ahead and work on that. And as a part of that, we're going to go ahead and do that portion. We were not going to sell them that portion of the land because you cannot build on it. So it's kind of from the UPS box north to the corner. So it's kind of like almost a triangle. That's not usable by a developer. So we were going to retain ownership of that, put in some type of public space that as you come across that bridge, it'll be what people see. And we've decided to go ahead and move forward. We were trying to do it all at once because of all the traffic and other challenges that come up when you do construction projects. But since we're not going to be able to get this started here in October, we'll go ahead and start on the drainage work. City View 1 and 2, those are going up rapidly.
You see how he speaks like he's always trying to say something without saying something? You hear how he says words that it's like not really ever any words, you know what I mean? I just don't ever understand what he does when he does that.
They have all of the houses that they did all the exact same houses in the various neighborhoods, and now they're doing the second design of houses. So if you look at some of the foundations, they're different. They're not that exact. Some home ownership opportunities in the downtown, and we've had there's been a number of people who have requested that, and rather than people moving to exit 210 or into Carmel upon retirement, but that is now, the curbs are in, the asphalt is in, the streets are there. I've actually driven all those streets myself. So we have, and Jeff, I don't know if you want to take this, but I think you have a purchase agreement.
We do. We have a purchase agreement that will, over the time, take down, commit to purchase all the lots and take them down, all of them, to be built.
If I could just state one thing, our intention in the beginning was to have local builders do this. Quite frankly, I have worked multiple phone calls, multiple meetings, and have requested builders do this. And the particular offer we have, they were willing. I told them that some local builders might come in and want to buy some of the lots. That did not happen. They said they would have been willing to buy 28, 26, 24, whatever the local builders didn't buy, but the local builders made the decision. I think interest rates have a part to play in that. But we didn't get any offers. So the offer that they submitted that you have is for all the lots. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah, and I was a big advocate for, selling those lots to local builders as well. But like I say, circumstances changed, and therefore, a path to success is different than it was originally envisioned. But it is a very credible builder, and the price is fair for the lots. And I did just a little bit of math just as I was, thinking about this. So for the investment that the MRC, the dollars that the MRC invested in it, which I think was just the $3,000 of MRC money that went into the project, we're looking at, on a present value, we're looking at 13,000 time return on our investment. And we'll have those lots sold. We'll have new homes. The need for housing.
So I gotta say,
so this was several months ago, but about in March or so, these two individuals had reached out to this particular company, DR Horton.
They're talking about DR Horton, coming in and buying store estates. Okay, that is a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big thing. This is, I'm not gonna take away from the city on this. I'm not gonna take away from Dan or what's going on. This is a pretty good thing. It's gonna be good for Muncie in the long run, and it's gonna be good all the way around. The press release on this says, at Thursday morning's Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting, the board members approved a purchase agreement on all 34 lots. Share this with you here. All 34 lots at Store Estates. The project has involved developing the site of the former Store Elementary School into a subdivision with 34 lots, a dry retention pond, and a park. The city has recently paved the streets in the subdivision and added a walking trail. Mayor Ridenour explained that D.R. Horton, the largest home builder in the nation since 2003, had put in an offer for $1,020,000 to purchase all 34 lots. D.R. Horton has built in Pendleton and other Indiana communities, but we're very impressed with Muncie, with where we are and where we're going, according to Ridenour. MRC President Jeff Howe was enthusiastic about the offer because anything that makes Dan look good makes him look good. The need for housing has amplified, while the source of housing has not, remarked Howe. The commission voted unanimously to accept the purchase agreement, which will go into effect over the next few months as D.R. Horton will begin work on properties 8-9 at a time. This is a huge investment in our city, commented the mayor. We are confident this will only be the start of this developer's work in Muncie. So now this is a good thing. All right. D.R. Horton is coming in and they're going to be buying the store estates. That's a pretty good thing. Do you think there's a possibility that something crazy can now happen? Let's wait and hear now, see what happens with this situation with D.R. Horton and what we hear now with the rest of the meeting here.
Which is the nation's largest home builder. And they were very impressed with the city, with where we are, where we're going, and the opportunities that are here.
Dream has a value of about $3 million today.
At either Fortville or Pendleton.
2308, authorizing the
Are in a flood zone, according to FEMA. Now, the work that was done in that subdivision.
We paid $49,000 in utilities. I know that's got to do the numbers at the beginning.
Everybody know where that is? Did you receive a handout on that?
And this is something that I think is interesting.
We paid $49,000.
Are in a flood zone, according to FEMA review and out of the flood zone, so that they received the word back that they're out of the flood zone. So that's how they wanted to take down the properties.
So,
Yeah, I'll make the motion that we approve resolution number 2023-08 along with the purchase agreement from D.R. Horton.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Commissioner Miller,
Absolutely, yes.
Commissioner Probella,
Yes.
Mr. Tomlin,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagley,
Yes.
and I vote yes. All right.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I will let them know immediately.
While I was kind of looking at this, I also
Listen to
was
this.
looking at some other projects because I know we're getting real close to, I think, from what I hear, really close to the Justice Center being done.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking.
I don't understand how this guy is saying this. I drove around this Justice Center today probably 15 times. I drove around and around and around and around. I stopped. I got out of the car. I looked up. I looked in the windows. I walked up. I looked inside it. They're saying that the Justice Center high-rise luxury condos are going to be done in about 3 months' time. By the end of the year. I do not understand how that's going to be done. They say it. I don't understand construction. Maybe it will. I don't know. But what I think is very interesting here is they like to now come back and take a shot. In my opinion, this is a shot directly at me, directly at us. Let's listen to what they say here.
That, and in this, under the same, kind of microscope, if you will. And so that property, if memory serves, is 60,000 square feet. And if you look at the construction of apartment buildings today, you're looking at probably somewhere in the neighborhood, it's about 300, it is precisely, according to the industry trades, $398 a square foot. So I used a third of that. I don't know why, just to be conservative, but I used a third of that. So, I think, and I've talked to some other folks as well, that could have an appraised value of about $8 million, and it will be apartments, where a store would be single or owner occupied. It would be a 1% tax. This would be a 2% tax because they are apartments. They're being built as apartments. They're permitted as apartments. And we paid $49,000 in utilities. I know that's always been kind of brought up a couple times.
It's been brought up more than a couple times, and we did pay $49,000 in utilities. But you got to keep in mind, and what he didn't bring up is all of the money that we'll pay over the 30 years. All of the money over the 30 years that we're paying for the parking spaces. Do you remember how much that was, Kate? $1 million? I think all told, the $49,000 plus what they're going to be doing, I think was the parking spaces and the $49,000 at the end of the 30 years was going to be about $1 million around there. I think that's what it was. I see Aaron Clark's cousins looking to cash in on another multi-million-dollar deal with the city. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. Move along, move along. I tell you, absolutely, Troy. I don't understand it. Like, why is all this okay? But okay, I'll give them. I will give it. I will give them the win on this. They get the win. We've invested this money, $49,000. You got to do it. No harm, no foul. We're going to have all this great tax dollar come in. First of all, I still just don't think we're going to be done in 3 months. I guess. I don't know, but let's listen.
So for $49,000 in investment that the MRC put into this thing,
yeah, right.
We should collect over the next 50 years. Again, that's a fortress. It could be there for 100 years easily, but it's $18 million in property taxes. So for every dollar we put in, you get 97 back.
Oh, okay.
I'll line up for that.
That will all go well. It has a present value of those property tax rolls of
let's just make sure it works that way.
$4.7 million.
Let's make sure it works that way.
So the math really looks favorable on that. And is that,
did you wear your fine?
And you have to do those things to get somebody to come in, because what we put in
today,
and any other money that might have been put in pales by comparison to what they put in.
The developer's going to get a bigger payout than the city. That's what's going to happen. At
significant
the end of the
revenue
day,
to help the city do other
talk
things.
About how much the developer's going to make on this.
Anywhere from,
the developer's going to walk away from this.
Whatever, right?
Absolutely. And I will point out again that we purposely did not put, even though you are allowed to do residential TIFs, we purposely did not put the Store Estates project in a residential TIF.
You said you didn't
and we purposely kept the Justice Center, which the county gave to us, so we didn't pay anything for it. We purposely kept that out of the downtown TIF. So those are all revenues that are going to help our school system and help our general fund. And the general fund is how we pay for all the services that the city provides. So that was all purposeful,
Yeah.
planned.
And I know we're not talking about that today, but but like I say, as we were kind of reviewing the other one, I wanted you to know, because we do this math probably a little rougher at the beginning because there are always unknowns anytime there's a project, but we try to do the numbers.
All right. we're
Find
moving along
excellence.
here now.
Of the new homes that are in there, or my team did. You don't have it?
We don't have it.
No.
Okay.
It's at the, there's a
There's
a trailhead out there.
Yes, it's right on the trail.
Right,
It's
Rick.
by building a subdivision as a,
Redeveloping what was a school property into something useful. That was, I mean, it was pretty
I
much
just
not
can't
doing anything
stand
for
that
us at the
kid.
time.
I'll be perfectly
This is, I
honest
just think, a
with
little
you.
bit different.
I just can't
It is.
stand his face. I can't stand his head. I just can't stand that kid. There's just, honestly, I got to tell you, there's just not much likable about that guy.
Essentially a subdivision. And I only know that because actually I considered moving there at one point. So I've looked at all the houses there. I've looked at the property. It's a great area. I'm shocked there's not more being built there, honestly, but it is what it is. So I just don't know.
He reminds me of that scene in The Big Lebowski when the cop is talking to the dude and he's like, I don't like your jack off face. I don't like your jack off name. And I don't like you, jack off. Just makes me think every time I see him.
Know that it's in our scope as a redevelopment commission.
All right,
Yeah.
that was a little mean.
well, somebody has to go in and put in the streets. Now, a section of it already has all the utilities in. I mean, you can see the
it's
posts,
calling it how it is.
but there's still work that a developer has to do.
Sure.
And our local builders they're not in that business. They do a great
I
job
love
building
that you said
homes,
that,
particularly
Shirley.
custom homes, but they're not used to or have a desire to put in streets.
Bing, 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 bing.
But that's what has to happen. You can't sell those lots
Wait till we
until
hear
you've
what
got
happens
streets. We know
next.
that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get your feedback on.
What a weird.
Yeah, I think. I have a
Listen
tendency
to
feel the
them.
same.
Listen to them. They have a hard. They just told him no on something. So I think it's the first time they've ever told him no, and it's like he's like a whipped puppy, and it's like they all spend so much time talking without actually saying anything, and it's really, really strange. These meetings are so rehearsed ahead of time. They've got to remember what it is they're supposed to be saying and not saying. That's what I think the issue is.
Same way. I think it just seems a little speculative for us that we're basically changing the financial responsibility for that from the people who own it to us. And then, if somebody wants to, I think I'd look to see if there's a way that we could, gosh, on the fly, I need some more time to think about this, but if there's something we can do to make it happen for other people to make it happen,
Listen to what he's saying.
that seems to be more consistent with what I think we're here to do. I mean, if somebody wants to develop those and there's some gap that has to take place, I think entertaining what we could do on the gap.
Okay. Well, and I told them that because I just met with them earlier this week, that a developer met with the sellers last week. But I will, I had told them both that I would bring it up here, see what the thoughts were. I knew I didn't want us to do it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about if you guys thought site
I didn't want to
control.
not spend money.
Familiar with where the lots are, but I'm not sure what site control advantage.
That we're going to talk about. We are going to, with the help of DAC, want to buy the sports commission.
All right, Jackie, the attorney for the MRC is Ben Freeman. All right, here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Interest in another property, and that at the time we first talked to him, we didn't have it. We did drive and buy it, but we have.
I'm going to back this up because first of all, this is not in their notes.
Developers that had at least shared some interest. I know that trust is wanting to divest of the land.
Well, I mean, you've heard from two of us. Does anybody else have any thoughts
It's very important.
opposition to that perspective?
I basically feel very similar. I mean, I just don't know that that's what we want to take on as this committee. And I definitely don't think the timing, but with still dealing with store properties and everything, you know, like I said, a year from now, maybe things would be different. But at this time, I don't think it's something that this committee should take on.
Agree.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Good.
I'll do those connections.
Good.
Thank you.
The next thing on your agenda, and I don't know, Jeff, you've been very involved in this. Do you want to? Well, let me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So one of the reasons that, because we had another developer that wanted to buy all the lots, another company that was interested in buying the lots, and again, at store. One of the reasons that we felt it was important to move forward with DR Horton is, number one, their financial resources. They're paying full price. They build good stuff, good homes, beautiful homes. But they have an interest in another property, and that at the time we first talked to them, we didn't have it. We did drive and buy it, but we're going to have some action here that we're going to talk about. We are going to, with the help of DAC, want to buy the Sports Commission. The Sports Commission had reached out to me, and the Muncie Sports Commission.
The complex.
The complex.
Not the commission, but the complex.
That's right.
The Muncie Sportsplex, which is the second Muncie Sportsplex that Delaware County, Muncie has had. It's the second Sportsplex that has failed. It's the second Sportsplex that has cost an absolute fortune and has been massively costly for taxpayers. It's been a drain. And tax money has already bought this one time. All right? Let's listen to what he says here.
The Muncie Sports Commission had reached out to me and said they could no longer afford to maintain the property. And that as a result, they were going to put it up for sale.
Okay.
And they said before they did that, since I had said that, let me know before you would sell it,
Why would you do
they were
that?
giving us that opportunity. So we negotiated for some time. Jeff was involved in those negotiations, and
Why?
we came upon a price. DAC is moving forward with that. And so, but once we had control of that property, I shared that with DR Horton. DR Horton has now, through a letter of intent and with some steps that we've now taken, has a purchase agreement to buy that once we have control of it. And they would like to build a subdivision in where the sports complex is.
Wait.
Why doesn't DR, whatever the fuck they are, buy it directly from the Sportsplex then?
Ding, ding,
Why
ding,
do we need a city to be a middleman? You're not a real estate company, dude.
ding, 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 ding. Well, let me tell you something, Kate, because I've been talking to a bunch of connections about this today. And here's the problem. Here's the thing. If the city of Muncie, because you've not even heard the biggie yet, if the city of Muncie was purchasing this, we would need to go to the city council. City council would need to know about this. We would need appraisals and whatnot. This is not going to be a city of Muncie type situation. No. This is going to be a DAC ordeal. And basically what's going to happen here, for some unknown reason, absolutely, completely asinine, what we're going to be doing here is the city of Muncie is going to be footing the bill. DAC is going to be the owners of it. Tell me how that happens. I'm going to go buy you a car, Kate. I'm going to buy you and Niles a house, and I'm going to pay for it, and you and Niles live there.
I'm digging this. I'm digging it.
Yeah, right. right. So it's insane. The
But
city of Muncie
why is
footing the
whether it's
bill.
the city or DAC, why is
I
there
get
a
it.
need for a middleman?
No, I get it. You want me to tell you why? Because
would
something fishy is going on. Because
Well, it's
something
Dan, so of course.
Mhm. So I want to show everybody this. for those that are not from the Muncie area, or maybe you're not aware. Okay, let me make sure this is up. So this is the map of kind of the northeast side of the city. Here's the city of Muncie. Here's Delaware County. All right, we're looking at Delaware County here. It's this square here, basically. Here's Newcastle. Here's Anderson. Here's Muncie. Here's baby little Winchester over in here. Up here, and here's Portland. Okay, now you got your bearing. From 69 down to 67 around here. Okay, here's Prairie Creek. You've got Delaware County right here. All right, we're gonna come in close. City of Muncie's in the gray. City of Muncie's in the gray. This right here, this half a circle, this backwards C kind of is the Muncie bypass. I wish they would take it all the way around us, but they've not done that. Okay, it is what it is. All right, we come out here. This is a main thoroughfare right through here is McGalliard. We come out here. All right, this is the city's far east side. You come out here, and here is 32. All right, here's 32, and you take 32 out to here is the Muncie Sportsplex right here. It's this green little area. All right, right here. And so Dan, when he was taking DR Horton around to store, he knew there was some kind of back room deals going on where he knew that they were going to do this. Now, keep in mind, this has already been paid for one time. I don't understand why tax dollars is needing to go for this again. The Sportsplex was paid for tax dollars through a bond using the innkeeper's tax. Why in the hell are we paying for this again? It's absolutely stupid. They just paid the bond off through the Visitors Bureau a couple years ago. The Visitors Bureau paid on the bond and the MRC paid on the bond. So tax dollars went to this, folks. Why is the developer, if they're the largest developer in the country, the largest housing developing company, why are they not buying it directly from the Muncie Sports Commission? There is no reason they can't do that. The city does not need to be involved. Why does Delaware County Advancement Corp have to buy it? Why? What are we overpaying for this? Who's getting handsomely rewarded for this? That's what I don't understand. This is so stupid. The MRC
Did they say how much?
What?
Did they say how much they're buying it for?
Oh, yeah, it's coming.
Oh, okay.
It's coming.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just impatient.
No, I know. You're good. You're good. I'm glad you're asking. Because now we're going to go back and we're going to hear how much. It's amazing. Glad you're asking.
That would be somewhere around 175 to 225 new homes. Obviously, it's in the city limits. It's on the end. Where I'm most excited, one of the things that excites me about this is it's on the east side. It's near Indiana 32. And I believe I gave you each a map that shows where that's located. It's 83 acres. And again, we have an offer from DR Horton that's now at DAC. Just in front of this property is Indiana 32. I had conversations with a couple different grocery stores.
Oh, listen,
and all of them said there's just not enough.
Again, this is what Ridenour always says. Anytime something sounds a little crazy, he always brings out the grocery store. Oh, a grocery store's coming. We're going to bring a grocery store into the south side. We're going to bring a grocery store over to the east side. He is so full of crap.
Housing, and there's not enough people on the east side. This, I think, will encourage that development along Indiana 32 that I think can bring an East Side grocery store, and I'm hoping an East Side, some other opportunities on the East Side. So,
That on top of the River Bend,
and then you've got Riverbend.
a lot of people.
Whoa,
Yes.
River
So
Bend.
you're seeing a lot of activity now on the east side, and I know something that's going to happen. It's outside the city limits, but also on 32 on the south side of 32. So there's going to be some development coming on the east side, but adding 200 families, because these would be similar type homes. These are families. Is just
Where are all
a
these
great,
people coming from?
a big win for our community. And so, but in order to do that, we have to authorize
That's the thing. It's already
the
a
purchase of the
DAC.
sports complex. So I don't know what you want to add, but DR Horton is going to start here, build out store, and then move to the east side with another subdivision.
It's another property. It's a significant property, 83 acres.
83
You
acres.
just said, 83 acres, owned by a not-for-profit. And you're looking at a $40-50 million investment in that neighborhood. And, for all intent and purposes, I think fills a housing gap that we have. It does put some critical mass on the east side. I hope, I think with River Bend and them there is some, some inspiration for maybe a grocery store over there. And
They're so full of shit. What's up?
Okay, it's 83 acres. You have to put in roads to have access.
Yep.
You have to have easements for utilities and stuff like that. By the time you get putting that done in, and they're going to put 200 houses back here,
That's what they say.
they're going to be nut to butt with postcards for yards.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they say. I think this is nuts.
But again, why are we playing middleman?
Why are we doing it? Yeah.
This is the largest housing developer in the country,
Yeah.
and they can't buy an 83-acre chunk of land.
Yeah.
DAC is acting as a shell company for tax shelter
Yeah. No question.
because they're going to build the ones over at Store Estates first. How long will that take? 2-3 years? So the purchase
longer.
doesn't actually happen until 2 or 3 years from now. So they've got the city holding it so they don't have to pay the taxes while they're waiting to build.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
I don't understand.
This is so gross. It's like everything that was good with the store being bought, the store, then this happens and this wipes it all away. It's so shitty. Let's listen to this. You still not heard how much?
And the folks that live out there now, there's a big, it's a.
Now pause. Okay, Charlize and Jackie and those of you that know, don't say it. You can't play along. How much do you think, before they say how much do you think the city of Muncie is going to pay? People, if you're out there, you can put it in the comments or let us know how much you think it's going to say. Or Kate, jump on and yell it. I'm going to go back here and play this a little bit longer. They're getting
Too
ready to
fucking
say-
much. That's how much. Too fucking
Food
much.
desert out there. And I think it has, and again, it's the credibility of the builder, largest home builder in the country. They can get it done.
And they're
Was this-
excited.
Was this previous use of this before the softball diamonds farm ground?
I believe so. I offered to do environmental, and DR Horton said, we want to do our own. So I offered to provide that to them, and they said they didn't want that. They said they would do it
Did we
themselves.
purchase and transfer to DAC, and DAC has a purchase agreement already?
Mhm. Yep. That has happened recently.
Then
Yeah.
the money comes back to us. So it's a a wash
Yeah.
transaction.
It's a wash.
The MRC doesn't actually purchase DAC purchases.
That's true.
We
Okay.
fund. We
We
fund.
fund.
and then the-
We're funding it,
Okay.
but DAC will purchase it.
And what's the purchase price?
Uh,
700.
700, well, it's on the financial part.
Yeah, 760 something.
768.
Yeah.
Yep, 768, 352.
And
There
we've
you
been
go.
funding the, sorry.
Okay, a couple things I want to point out on it, and not saying it is a reason not to do the deal.
So stupid.
One, that is city territory and taxes, which is great.
Listen
That
to this.
is county school district, with Country Club Road being the divider. So those would not feed into Muncie school systems. And then the other question is they haven't put it up for sale yet. So is there any desire by anybody to similar to what's out there now that would be valuable to the city or not? The homes may be more valuable. Just a couple things I
Is
just
that
wanted
where's that guy from? What's he
to
mean?
bring
Yeah.
up.
Well, so first of all, store estates are all inside the city
Right,
limit.
yeah.
But we have,
saying
well, no.
anything,
Let me,
but-
what I was going to say is we have 3,000 people that live inside the city limits between Morrison and Nebo. Those are inside the city limits, but are in Yorktown schools. So, this property was available. It's not generating anything.
Right.
It is true that those taxes on that particular property on the sports complex will not be going to the Muncie Community Schools.
Right.
They will be going to Wapahani schools, but it is in the city limits.
Right.
So the city will participate and will receive general fund revenue. So what it'll essentially mean is inside our city limits, we will have Yorktown schools, Muncie Central schools, and Wapahani schools. Right now, we don't have any housing that has Wapahani schools.
Who
But
cares?
that's just how this ended up. This property was available and generating nothing. The only reason it came up was because they contacted me and said, we can't manage this anymore.
And
They contacted
Our
him because they
discussion,
know
I
that
think
he's a
the
sucker
only
and
thing I
he'll
heard
like
Yeah,
mentioned
they
suck
never
their
could
cock
manage
to be
it.
able to say
Alternative
he got to buy a new
was
property.
agriculture.
Yeah.
And
At least the price on it.
I know I questioned the agriculture because you've got a lot of demolition out there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
So I mean, it is a reasonable price at least. But what
I
guarantee
think,
do they have that?
Well, yeah. There's no appraisals because it's going to be a
Backdoor deal.
weird ass deal. Yeah, he's going to the MRC and not the council, which I don't like. And just every bit of this is weird. Moreover, we've already paid for this. Tax dollars have already paid for this. Why are we doing it a second
Who
time?
owned it?
The Muncie Sportsplex, and it was paid by the innkeeper tax deal, the Muncie Visitors Bureau, and the MRC paid on the bond.
Okay. So we took out a loan to build a building that the city doesn't own?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out the city took out a loan. Yeah. Or somebody.
No, I don't think the city did. I don't know exactly. I'll have to look and see. I don't know exactly what that fell. I don't know if Ingram knows, because this was years ago.
Okay, but there's a bond that somehow or another,
Yeah.
city entities
Mhm.
are paying on it,
Yeah.
and city taxes are being used to pay on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how does the city not own it already?
Well, that's what's really, really weird. It's owned by the Sports and Hobby Development of Muncie, Inc. That's the owner.
Okay. I'm tired, and I'm sorry for bothering you, Christopher.
No.
I just can't wrap my brain around the fuckery.
It was bought. I want to say it was before that. That says 2009, new owner, March 1st, 2009. I guess that could have been it. I thought it was well before that, but I guess that could be it.
So they took out a loan, they paid off the loan, and then they sold the building. And how much did they sell it for? Hopefully more than the bond.
How, did they sell it? They didn't know they didn't sell it. They've still got it. They're selling it now.
Oh, I'm so fucking stupid. I can't. My brain hurts, Christopher. I just, the fuckery is too much.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
I mean, well, you guys have seen it out there. There's a lot of stuff to come out of that property that would take a long time and adds to the investment in it, and then the value of it.
It's an area that needs growth, and houses may kickstart that.
But I'd like to point out too, if I can, that not only will this become a revenue source for the city's general fund, but it will also stop a drain on MRC and the county funding, because it's my understanding the Sportsplex has never paid their own bond payment. The Muncie
That is
Visitors
correct.
Bureau paid it from the beginning.
The city.
They stopped
And the
paying
MRC.
it, and the MRC has
Yep.
paid the
It's
last
true.
2 or 3.
There you
So
go.
the Sports Commission has never paid the payment on this bond.
Mhm.
So not only do we gain, but we're also not going to be tied to those continued bond payments any longer.
It's nice.
Man,
Oh yeah,
it's
everybody
amazing.
goes to Winchester.
2 + 2 equals 4, right?
Mhm.
And proximity too. It's obviously near the country club.
Mhm.
There's is there like an elderly living community? Or
There is.
something?
There's a
Yeah.
condo complex.
Right.
I don't
That
remember.
across
the-
the way.
The daycare just up the
There's a
road.
daycare. The armory is near there, right?
The armory is there.
Which I
Mhm.
maybe that matters, maybe it doesn't.
Be right across the street.
Proximity to a lot of
The
stuff.
church and the armory right across
Yeah,
the
if
street.
anybody needs a tank, there's a tank right
Hey.
there.
This is America.
There's still a doctor's office across the street.
That's right.
That too.
So this is great.
And the new home build may be of more interest being in the county school district too.
Mhm.
And
Could be.
90% of what's good for the county is good for
Where
the
did
city.
that guy all of a sudden with the accent come
Yeah,
from?
Well, and I don't want to speak for DR Horton, but I do think they expect to have store finished before this one even starts. Because it's not zoned for housing. So
yeah,
we've
let's
got to
do
do we've got to go in and get the zoning change.
Oh, so they're gonna do a whole bunch of crazy
So
shit.
that will have to happen. And then
Kinda
they're going to
like
have
getting the
to
cart.
tear out the baseball
the
fields and do
horse.
whatever they need to do on those. And then once they know they have the
That's not like
property,
that,
then they'll
Ryan.
start designing how many lots, what will be in there. They like that there was already a big retention pond because houses like to be in and around those sometimes. Some residents like to be in and around those, and they certainly can add some beauty. And they liked it being close to the bypass because they felt it gave easy access to
What's up?
So the Sportsplex company never made any bond payments on the bond, but they own the building.
Yeah.
I would love to get a deal like that.
Yeah. How does that happen?
Dan, can you come and buy my house, get a bond for it? You pay that bond. I'll keep living here. And then when we're done, I'll buy it from you for $1.
Yeah, right. Right.
And then I'll sell it to my kid for 10.
No, then you sell it back to Dan.
Oh, I
when
forgot.
you're done
That's
living in it. You sell it back to Dan. It's
This is so
ludicrous.
convoluted. Ryan's got it right. It sounds like they're all trying to talk themselves into it. How is this
right.
a good idea? Buy a property that you've been paying on and then try to say that gets us off the hook on those payments. What?
Yeah, right. It's not zoned, like you said. I mean, there's just they've got the cart before the horse.
Charlize, I wish you had been there. It would have been glorious, I'm sure.
Dude, I know. I am so pissed off. I'm so pissed off. I had the eye doctor, and I didn't go to this. I wish I would have went. I wish I would have went. I'm so mad.
So,
but
who's getting the kickback?
Well, do you all remember last night when we listened to Zane talk at the Board of Works? Zane comes to the MRC meeting.
Oh, this is gonna be fabulous.
But so does Rick Yenser, and Rick Yenser lays some heat. So we will. That's where we're going next. Here we go.
Pleased to get that.
So they
have a couple other things.
They voted unanimously on that.
Hopefully these are in your packet. Do you have 908?
Okay.
The 900 block of West 8th Street.
Packet, and they just voted. They voted on that without any of the financials in their packet. They just voted blindly on it. Yep, 750,000 sounds good. Dan wants it. Dak has it. Dak wants it. Let's do it. Rock and roll. DR Horton, rock and roll.
Okay.
$750,000. Just like
playground would be perfect for her, and we would like to purchase it if it's possible.
All right.
We have a motion by Ms. Bagley.
I believe that's it for me, unless there are any questions.
No, and I spoke to Nate Howard yesterday. He has a conflict. He will not be able to be here this morning.
Okay.
So we will not have an update from the land bank.
Okay.
So we are open for public comments, 2 minutes per speaker. Do we have our list of folks?
I would never sign a list to speak. I will never sign a list to speak.
I don't think anybody's signed it yet, so.
Would I be able to sign up now?
Yes.
Of course, it's a public meeting.
I like that Dan said it's a
Is that
public
time
meeting.
provided?
Just
go ahead.
Okay. Gonna go ahead.
Sure. Far away.
Zane Bishop, 1301 North Jefferson. First, I wondered how the store proposal from this developer compared to other developers' proposals and that were considered, received by the commission. Also wondering if sidewalks were still going to be a part of the sidewalks and street trees were still going to be a part of the store development, as was in the original plan that was submitted to the mayor. For the Sportsplex, I'm wondering how that development would work out with like the Kitsman project and with, all the vacant lots and housing that sit on the east side currently that are on existing streets that wouldn't need built or maintained. There's hundreds of vacant lots in Mayfield, Whiteley, Altshire, even Gilbert and East Central that don't have a plan for them.
Preach.
Curious on how that will all work out.
Preach.
And then lastly, I'm hoping the Redevelopment Commission can provide an update at some point on 225 South Madison. The fire department, I think, is going to be working on it over a local developer or local resident that was going to fix it up that had been on the property. So hoping the Redevelopment Commission can provide an update on that at some point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dude, I don't know where this sleeping giant came from. I mean, I know where it came from, but I don't know what has all of a sudden awoken him. And I'm here for it, though. with his maroon pants and everything. I love it. I love that guy.
Right. I don't know what that says.
I think it's Mr. Yenser.
Yes. Here, come on, Mr. Yenser.
Rick Yenser.
Woo!
Rick Yenser,
Newsman, author, gangster of love.
newsman and author, Muncie. There's much to be considered of what you've done today. I've heard
Much to be considered about what you've done today.
people talk about how this is, redevelopment has become a real estate business. And it was proven to me today because I had a feeling the other day that there were some big plans afoot. Actually, a couple people told me that you're bringing the nation's largest home builder here. And the first thing you need to do is require them to use local labor and local suppliers. On the City View project that has been going on now for quite some time, there's been very little use by CPM of local labor or local suppliers. And what does that do here locally? Not a lot as far as the economy. Now on the Sportsplex, I'm glad somebody confessed today that government is still bailing out failing institutions. Kind of like what you've done with the YMCA, what apparently, which nobody knew that you were doing with the Sports Commission, paying off that bond from years ago. I think this is like the second sports complex that has failed or been bulldozed, because sometime long ago, there was a sports complex, some of you remember, out on McGalliard and Nebo.
Yes.
And that faded away, and so has this one. The use of public money to buy and sell real estate is allowed because you do have, as you said, broad powers, probably more power than the government itself. Now, while you might have made money and forecast big property taxes in future years, you haven't yet said, where are all these people coming to live in these houses, these townhouses, and elsewhere in Muncie? Because I don't see growth in the job market based on employment figures, the university, the hospital that are our largest employers. I don't see expansion there, and I don't see a lot of people coming here to continue that large increase in housing development.
Your comments.
Thank you.
I love Rick.
You need to have this
Andrew
man on
Pop?
this show.
What?
You need to have
What?
him on the show.
What'd you say?
Am I muted?
No, not now.
Oh, I wasn't muted before.
No, but
You need to have this man on the show.
Yeah, I would like to have him on the show.
He is amazing.
Yeah, I'd like to have Rick on the show. I've talked to him a time or two about that before. He's he's an interesting character. We'll try to lasso him on and get him on here coming up. It would be that would be a hoot. It would be definitely an interesting situation.
Good morning, MRC. I came in today because I looked at the agendas that were of interest to me. Primarily the two property potential acquisitions. One you decided not to take any action on, one you did with the Sportsplex. The Emerald Point properties is of particular interest to me. I do hope that whatever connection Mayor Ridenour intends to make is successful. That would be a great opportunity for development. Much like Mr. Miller, I'm familiar with property primarily because when those were built, I was looking to purchase out there. Settled in the Skyway neighborhood, happy with the decision, but a great subdivision nonetheless.
What?
With the Sportsplex, a couple of questions that I did have that I hope to get answers to.
Of course not.
I don't want to assume the answers. Similar to the store estates, the city put in the infrastructure of the roads and such. Just want to know if that's the plan here as well. Once it gets to that state, utilities and things like that. Currently, those items aren't out there. But happy with the opportunity for development. Obviously, 175 to 225 homes, which is what the projection was. Obviously, I haven't drawn it up. Would go a long way to shoring up what could potentially be a grocery development and maybe some other small scale real estate opportunities out there. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right. Have any commissioner comments?
That's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's that. I'm telling you, folks, that is Andrew Pop. Yeah, it was. That was Andrew Pop. Andrew Pop, Rick Yenser, and Zane Bishop. So, ladies and gentlemen, Rick has a ton of Muncie history knowledge. Oh yeah, Rick is a gold mine. He would be a great interview to have on. I'm telling you, I just am so disappointed in this Muncie Sports Complex situation. I don't understand. I don't really get it. I don't know why we're doing this. Of course, those people on the mayor's side is going to talk about how wonderful this is. Listen to what Shireen Wegley actually says. Listen to this.
Today.
I think today's been kind of monumental with some of the.
Today's been kind of monumental. Some of
the sale of store and
the sale of store and the Sportsplex property.
Done a lot.
You've done a lot. Yes.
Anybody else?
Yes, you've done a lot. I don't know that that's as good as what you mean it as, but yeah, Shireen, I can give it to you. You did a lot. Something's up with this. The bottom line is, if we were doing this the proper way, there would be appraisals and the council would be aware and this would be done properly. DAC wouldn't be involved. We wouldn't be involved because DR Horton would just buy it from the Muncie Sports people, Muncie Sportsplex Commission. But the reason that's not happening is because now we can get it, we can hold it, and no one has to pay taxes on it because, it's going to be a, backwards ass backroom Muncie Delaware County Advancement Corporation deal. Absolutely ridiculous. So we'll be following this. I'll be looking into this. I'll be getting information on it. I'll pull up some records on it and request some information so we can definitely know what the hell they're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to stay on the government. The very last thing I'm going to leave you guys with as we roll out of here tonight, and we're not going to get into a great big thing on this. I just want to tell you guys and let you know because this kind of stuff is happening everywhere. It's crazy. It's this. Clinton, Indiana. The other day I was talking to you about the corruption ongoing down there and dealing with that guy. And damn it, mute. Okay, here we go. I want to show you this. Look at this. This is the postscript. Mr. Craig Hendry. This is notification that you are prohibited from entering Clinton City Hall for a period of 90 days ending on December 19th, 2023. The prohibition is the result of several complaints from the city employees concerning multiple instances of you harassing those employees while they are in their office attempting to work. As a city, we have a responsibility to make sure our employees have a workplace that is safe and free from such harassment. Your behavior has interfered with the ability of the employees to get their work done and to assist other customers and citizens. It has also resulted in complaints to the city from these employees that they feel unsafe and threatened. If you have business with the city that necessitates dealing with a city hall worker, you may go through Clinton Police Department's entrance and inform the dispatcher what you need. Bullshit. This is a letter typed up on Clinton town letterhead, and it's signed by the mayor and by 2 Board of Works members. This is not a trespass notice. This is not a legal document. He needs to wipe his ass on this letter, and he needs to go right there. This is absolutely insane. This is what they're starting to do places, folks, and it's crazy to me. You cannot start kicking people out of government buildings because they're going in and asking questions. What we just saw today from the MRC is going to have me at the Muncie City Hall several different days, I guarantee it. I'm going to be asking several different questions. I'm going to be asking for records, and they're not going to like it. But I'm telling you, if they gave me one of these pieces of paper, I would fly off the handle. Craig has a right to go in that building. If he commits a crime, let the police deal with him. If he breaks the law, there's laws are being broken, the police can deal with it. So far, he's not done that. This is bullshit. It's crazy that different places in different areas are starting to do the same thing. This is very similar to what they did to Josh and Winchester. This stuff is real scary, folks. I'm telling you. Thank God the city of Muncie's never kind of pulled some kind of nonsense like this, because I would literally, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. So I'm just saying, you know, I'm glad that Muncie has so far not been crazy. We'll hope they remain calm and do their damn job. This is bullshit. What happened at the Muncie Redevelopment Commission today was bullshit. Let me see here. What else is on the list? What Sproles did was bullshit. All right. And the fact that we still can't see the forum is bullshit. I don't know where the forum is, folks. As soon as they release the forum, I will have it up. I still don't know why they haven't done it, but apparently, I guess we should have been there. If you wanted to see it, this is a good reminder, folks. Streaming is nice, but nothing beats being there in person, especially if they decide to just hog the stream and not ever show it. So I don't know what's going on with that. They said they recorded it. I don't know why they just won't put it up. Hell, put it up. Give me the raw form. I'll fix it. I'll put it up, and I will disseminate it. I've also requested a couple more candidates to speak with me, and I should be knowing tomorrow what's going on with that. I want to let you guys know that today is Thursday. Normally, I would be off tomorrow, but I will be on tomorrow because tomorrow we're going to be doing a candidate interview. Audie Barber will be joining us tomorrow in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll be talking with Mr. Audie Barber, doing his candidate interview. And I'm working on some other things that we might possibly be talking about tomorrow. I'm going to try to be off Saturday, but this might be a week that we work through. I don't know. We'll see. You guys have a great rest of your evening. Sorry for going so late, but we had a lot of shit to talk about. What's going on with the Muncie Sportsplex is crazy. What's going on with Sproles is crazy. We'll be following it all, as well as everything else that's happening. 46 days left until vote day, folks. So do yourselves a favor and get educated. All right. Give us a like, share the show with everyone you know, and we will see you back here bright and early at 9 p.m. tomorrow. Late and early, late night. All right. Good night. Goodbye. Bye.